My name is Ayana, and I'm the social worker here at the university. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
And what's your name? I'm sorry, I didn't get it from the paper outside. What's your name?
My name is Maisha.
Okay, nice to meet you, Maisha. So today, I know that in the front they gave you a paper for you to sign, a confidentiality paper, and I just kind of want to kind of reiterate the information on the paper. So whatever we discuss in here is going to stay between us unless you mention anything about hurting yourself or harming someone else. Then I'll be mandated to report that. Do you feel comfortable with that? Do you have any questions about it?
Well, that sounds good.
Okay. And do you mind if I take notes, just kind of jot down some of the things that we discussed, so we can kind of form or create a plan at the end of the night?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what brings you in today? What's going on?
A lot. So first, I'm a college student, and my education has been going, quite well. I love my classes and my professors, but my living situation has been terrible. My roommates, they aren't the cleanest. They constantly invite other people into our room, and they don't clean up after themselves, and they leave me out of a lot of things. My food, kind of comes up missing, so it's just a lot. That's kind of just has my mind on overload.
Right. So it sounds like it's been very frustrating. And when did these problems start? So when did this frustration, or I guess your mind has just been kind of on overload, you said. So when did that start? When did you start feeling that way?
Well, okay, so my first month of school, it was great. I was excited about meeting my roommates, and everything went fine. But then, that second month, in September, it just went downhill. I just started to see their true colors, and it just it hasn't been good.
All right. And have y'all just sat down and maybe discussed it, or had a home or house meeting to for you to express your feelings? Have you had one-on-one time with them? What steps have you taken, I guess, to really work out what you've been feeling or express yourself?
I've tried to have, different meetings with my roommates, and they've just not gone well. They would either, deny what has been happening in the room, or, not taking ownership of the stuff that they do. They just denying everything, and it turns into just a screaming argument, and it's we're not creating a plan on how we can stop this from happening again. We're just going at each other.
Right, so everyone's kind of playing the blame game, just not really getting anywhere when y'all do decide to talk about it. So is there an RA that y'all have that manages the floor?
Yes, so each floor has an RA. I haven't reached out to the RA because I kind of wanted to try to handle things myself, but it's just not working me handling by myself.
Right, and
I need extra assistance.
And that's okay. I think that sometimes we feel I guess not we feel, but sometimes it's kind of hard to really ask for that extra help, and I feel maybe the RA could serve as the mediator for you all, so y'all won't scream over or talk over each other, and just maybe you can get to some type of common ground. But so would that even be something that you would consider, or you would probably try to keep it between y'all? What would be your next step? Or
I feel my next step needs to be me reaching out to my RA. It's nothing that I'm doing is working, and it's not doing anything but making me stressed, and it's just making me my schoolwork. I can't even do my schoolwork in my room because I'm afraid of that confrontation with my roommates, and I don't want that. School is important to me, and getting into it with my roommates is not what I want to happen.
Right. And have you expressed that to anyone, any friends, any family? Do you have a support system?
No, so I'm a loner, so I don't really, I talk to my mom on the phone, but I don't feel like she will ever really understand. You know, I have a best friend. She's off at a different school. We kind of talk about it over the phone, but it's like we are like we're in two different areas. So I just feel like it's not much she can do to help me. So it's kind of like I'm kind of dealing with this by myself. Like I spend a lot of time like in different locations on campus, like, you know, my classroom, you know, the buildings that my classes are in, or like libraries, to try to get my work done, because it's like I'm kind of in a win-lose situation with my roommate.
So it's like you don't feel comfortable even being in your own home at this point. And so do you have any, I guess, like organizations or community groups that you're in? I just kind of want to see, I guess, like your entire system and see if you have a chance to get out of the house. So do you participate or volunteer at any community locations or?
Well, I do a lot of volunteer work because, you know, with going to the school that I'm at, we're required to do you know, community service participation. But I do cheerlead. But I just kind of, you know, started that. So it's like I haven't really formed that bond yet with my teammates. So it's not like I can go to them and be like, oh, I'm going through, you know, this, that, and third in my room with my roommates. Because, you know, we just made a cheerleading squad. We just kind of started having practice. So everything is new. So it's like I don't feel comfortable yet sharing that with them.
Right. Well, I really appreciate you opening up to me and sharing that with me, because I know sometimes that can be kind of hard to, you know, to share with a stranger, you someone you never met. And I really appreciate that. And I thank you for being here and taking that first step to really seeking out help. So I would like to, like, I guess, like set up a plan or maybe set up some goals that we can work together and kind of work towards, like, together. And I want it to be driven by you, some goals that you will be interested in working on. Do you have anything in mind as to, like, what you would want to do with the roommate situation, or even if it's just something personal, like emotionally, like if you want to set up something where you go out and spend, you know, I don't know, like spend time with some of your cheerleading friends, or like be open to reaching out to them or making new friends. Like, what exactly is your goal, and what do you kind of want from our sessions?
Well, I kind of want to work on, you know, I guess just like working on myself and being able to like engage socially with other people. So like if I ever get into like a situation like I'm currently in now with my roommates, it won't be like I'm feeling lonely or feeling like I have nobody else to reach out to.
Right. So you want to do you have a self-care plan, or is that something you will be interested in working on?
I need to work on one because I don't have one.
Right. And so do you do anything that kind of gets your mind off of like what you've been going through, or your feelings or emotions?
Being around my teammates, kind of. I know I said I don't really, you know them like that because we just started. But being in cheerleading practice and cheering and, you know, doing that routine has helped me. But other than that, I don't really have a plan.
Right. And I remember you mentioning, like, you know, you want to work on being more social, and I just want to commend you because, like, you tried out for the cheerleading team. I mean, I feel like that's a big step to being social because, you know, you are traveling, you know, you're meeting new people, and I think that's a really good thing. Do you enjoy that? Have you been enjoying doing that?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And I think that maybe with time, maybe they could be a part of your system, or maybe your support group if you're open to it. Okay. So, I'm not sure. How would you, I guess, like, how do you feel about, you know, kind of homework in a sense of, like, us discussing something here and then you going back and try to implement that in your life and just kind of come back and follow up and see how it worked? Would you be interested in doing that?
Yeah, I definitely feel like that would probably be helpful for me.
Okay, and so with that, I want it to be what you'll be interested in working on first. And if you had to, like, rank your needs or your problems 1 through, I guess, 3 or 1 through 2, what would be like the number one or the highest thing that you really want to work on?
Self-care.
Self-care. Okay. So with that, we're gonna have some self-care homework. You said you didn't have a self-care plan or things that you do to show that you care or love yourself. So in the next few weeks or whenever you decide to come back, I want you to work on or creating a self-care plan that will help you, I guess, when you start to feel lonely or you start to feel like, you know, frustrated or that you don't feel that you belong in your house or your home with your roommates. I guess like you can just create. So how does that sound? Like, how does that plan sound? Creating a self-care plan for you to use in the next couple of weeks and just kind of seeing how that made you feel.
That sounds good.
Okay. And what's your schedule? How often would you like to meet?
I would feel comfortable meeting every other week.
Okay. Every other week?
Because I just need to get my stress level back down so I can really focus on school.
And that's understandable. Like, I'm here to help you, you know, whatever or however you may need me. And just feel free to, even if you need to schedule an appointment before the 2 weeks or however often you like to come, just call the office and they'll be able to get you in. Okay?
Okay.
Sounds like a plan?
That does.
All right. Well, thank you for meeting me today.